Good evening. My name is Jennifer Barrera. I'm the president of the Alice ISD School Board. I'd like to welcome every member who's here today for this meeting. I'm going to call this meeting to order, and the time is now 6:31. This is a meeting of the Alice Independent School District Board of Trustees set for Monday, June 9th of 2025. The regular board meeting has been set today and held in the Alice ISD Administration Building, the boardroom number 2 of Coyote Trail here in Alice, Texas. Do we have a quorum? Present at today's meeting is myself, Jennifer Barrera, Mr. Herman Ariano, Mr. Adrian Peña, Mr. Ciro Zamora, Ms. Debbie Guerra, and Mr. Lee Ramon. An announcement for this meeting. The school district has been duly called, and the notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Section 551.043 of the Texas Government Code. At this time, we'll do the pledge to the United States flag and the Texas flag and have a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Item number 4 on the agenda is to recommend the approving of the board minutes for the regular board meeting on May 12th of 2025.
I'll make a motion.
There's a motion by Mr. Ariano. Is there a second? A second by Mr. Lee Ramon. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Item number 5, the public comment. Audience participation at a board meeting is limited to the portion of the meeting designated to receive public comment in accordance with the board policy BED local. At all other times during a board meeting, the audience shall not enter into discussion or debate on matters being considered by the board unless requested by the presiding officer. If the speaker is seeking board resolution of a specific complaint, that concern should be addressed through the district's grievance policy. At regular board meetings, the board shall permit public comment, regardless of whether the topic is an item on the agenda posted with notice of meeting. Public comment shall occur at the beginning of the meeting. Individuals who wish to participate during the portion of the meeting designated for public comment shall sign up with the presiding officer or designee before the meeting begins, as specified in the board's procedures on public comment, and shall indicate the agenda item or topic on which they wish to address the board. Except as permitted by board policy BED local and the board's procedures on public comment, an individual's comments to the board shall not exceed 5 minutes per meeting. When necessary for effective meeting management or to accommodate large numbers of individuals wishing to address the presiding officer may adjust public comment procedures in accordance with BED local, including establishing an overall time limit for public comment and adjusting the time allotted to each speaker. However, no individual shall be given less than 1 minute to make comments. At this time, there is
Is it one?
Yeah, just a public comment sheet which has a list of one person and the second name is scratched out. So the one person that is going to speak is Mr. Willie Reese, and the subject to be addressed is the election of 2025. And Mr. Reese, if you could approach us here at the podium, and I will start the 5-minute timer, and please tell me when you wish for me to begin.
And you can go ahead. I'm gonna make it quick because I know everybody wants their large checks that are sitting there. But I want to address a couple of things that I've been approached by and I've been hearing in the community. The first is that I ran a very dirty campaign. First of all, when I came to central office to apply for a position to run for the place 3 school board seat, they gave us a packet of do's and don'ts. And I followed that packet to the letter. The financial reports, I followed to the letter, and I would expect everybody else to do the same. Also, if myself and my son and my wife are accused of being dirty by holding signs at the courthouse during the election, then I guess if you want to call that dirty, it's dirty. But I didn't hire politiqueras. I didn't do any of that. I promised my family and I promised my friends that I was going to be positive, and I was. Now, I know there has been a resignation of a board member that was my opponent, and I would hope that the board has the integrity and the honesty to be transparent about who they're going to replace that member with going forward. And I would hope that everybody that wants to apply gets the chance to, and that it is fair and honest, and give us all a fair chance. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Item 6 on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Trevino?
Yes, good evening, Madam President and members of the board and all the members in the audience. We'd like to start this evening by recognizing some amazing teachers that are in the audience and have been designated as teacher incentive allotment teachers. So I now call to the podium Ms. Vivianeda.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Trevino, and audience. My name is Lynette Vivianeda. I'm your Executive Director of Human Resources. At this time, and it's a big honor and it's a big privilege to me to present these outstanding checks to such a beautiful group of teachers that go above and beyond every single day for each and every one of our students and for their campus. Thank you to each and every one of you for all that you do, and above all, for the family members for being there for them and supporting them. Because not only did it take from the teacher, but it takes the family members to be there for them as well. So thank you to each and every one of you. Alice ISD recognized 45 teachers that are being designated as TIA teachers, the Teacher Incentive Allotment. 29 teachers received designation in 23-24. This year, we added an additional 16 teachers for TIA. There are 3 categories that we have. Recognized, we have 10 teachers from Alice ISD that are recognized. We have 29 teachers that are exemplary. And we have 6 teachers in Alice ISDs that are masters. Congratulations. What a beautiful accomplishment. This year, Alice ISD will be distributing over $580,000 to all of our 45 teachers. Good job. I will be starting out with Noonan Elementary, and if I could have their principal coming up and their loved ones coming up, family members, to come on up. The first, yes. Our first recipient is Miss Christina Shireen from Noonan Elementary. For the amount of $24,258.
Where are we gonna spend this money? If you get it, this is in Puerto Rico.
There we go.
It's too early to ask for a loan. Congratulations. Vacation time.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, it's my
Right,
barbecue.
Congratulations.
yes, thank you, ma'am.
Our next recipient, our next teacher from Noonan Elementary, Adriana Morin. Amount of $13,355. Our next teacher is Adriana Rojas Guerrero. The amount of $13,255. Okay. Our next teacher is Shanae Moreno. Shanae Moreno. Okay. And our next teacher is Gabriel Zamora for the amount of $6,000.
They're spending their money.
Direct deposit.
From Science Elementary, Annabelle Roque for the amount of
Tammy.
$4,000.
Hey, Debbie, you want to come over here? Oh,
Have a really good summer.
there you go. You want to scoot over?
Oh, they're their daughters.
Oh, another daughter.
Hey, Terry.
Cheese.
Nelda Ramon for the amount of $13,021.
Congratulations.
Good job, ma'am. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jemima Guerra for the amount of $13,291.
One, two, three.
It's Valerie Perez for the amount of $13,291.
Se lo enamore.
Grab that check.
Teresita Charles for $13,355. Oh, Monica. Oh, I almost, it's gonna look the wrong back. Sorry, from Noonan.
Convenience to you. Don't move, I got another phone.
Jen.
Ms. Yamalik de la Garza for the amount of $12,842.
You wanna know they can take the checks, yes, right? Yeah. That's there, 1, 2, 3.
Marisa Hinojosa for the amount of $7,038.
Yes.
You know what?
Because all of you get to spend it.
All right.
There we go.
Yes.
Right.
It's Elizabeth Charles.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you. Good job.
All right. Yeah. Right.
We're going to Disney.
Are we, do we need to?
Yeah, move over a little bit, right here in the middle, right, a little bit. Right there, right there, right there. Everybody in the back, yeah.
For the amount of $6,646.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, good job.
All right. Shallert first.
Are you gonna hold it?
Hey, man.
Ready, 1, 2, 3, 1.
Patricia Romo, $21,226. Okay. Next, Miss Aurora Trevino, 21,000.
Or you be in the middle. You be in the middle.
Deborah Beltran for the amount of $11,536.
Good job.
Ms. Delisa Barrera for the amount of $11,536.
Lean a little bit. Right there.
Lisa Longoria for the amount of $11,536. For the amount of $5,768.
Get it up first.
Next, Ms. Roxana Chapa for the amount of $5,768.
Bring it down so you can see.
Right there.
Ms. Romana Timmons for the amount of $11,536.
Congratulations.
Yeah, let me switch.
Rodriguez for the amount of $11,536.
My aunt. She's my aunt.
There you go. Thank you.
Randy Slayton for the amount of $14,056. Deandra Valenzuela for the amount of $14,076. There we go. Ms. Tara Espinosa for the amount of $11,536. Stella Grimes for the amount of $14,076.
Sorry.
Ms. Edna Peña for the amount of $14,076. Ms. Crystal Parker for the amount of $14,076. Ms. Deborah Gomez for the amount of $14,076. Get your check.
Hey.
Hang on.
Ethan Conde for the amount of $14,076. Ms. Cassandra Zapata for the amount of $7,038. Hey. Next, Ms. Annabelle Barrera for the amount of $20,422. Jeannie De Leon for the amount of $12,842.
You wanted to come out of the picture.
Yeah. That's all right.
Right there, perfect. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
For the amount of $12,842.
Yes, sir, no, thank you.
Yeah, 12,842. Rebecca Weinmore for 12,842.
Good job.
Big bug.
Congratulations, Dad.
Congratulations.
One, two, three. One, two, three. There you go.
12,842.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
That's good.
So in the picture. My God.
Daniel for 6,421.
So well deserved. Congratulations. Maybe on the other side, sir.
Back, ready, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Awesome.
Again, for 12,606. Mr. Abel Lopez for 12,606.
No dude. Back in.
Coach.
How are you? I've been working on social studies on fire.
Yes.
Good job, sir.
Jessica Two for 12,606.
Congratulations. Have a great summer.
So awesome. Center for 12,606.
They're in the back.
Oh, it's taking her to Disney.
Oh, I didn't want to go.
Congratulations, sir.
LCAA for 6,303. Garcia for 6,303. Once again, a big thank you. We are very fortunate, very blessed to have some amazing, hardworking teachers here in Alice ISD. Thank you to each and every one of them and their families.
Congratulations again, and thank you, principals, for promoting excellence in the classroom. These teachers will be getting the same amount for the next 4 years after this year, so a total of 5 years. They'll be getting a check for that same amount. So we're really proud of them and hoping to get more and more teachers to qualify for this TIA incentive. So awesome. Next, I invite Mr. Americo Perez to the podium to do some recognitions for both the band, stage, solo, and ensembles for UIL and choir. So, Mr. Perez.
Mrs. Moreno, Board President, Dr. Trevino, Superintendent of Schools, Board of Trustees, distinguished guests. Thank you for allowing me to recognize our Alice High School band students that participated in the UIL State Solo and Ensemble competition, which happened on Saturday, May the 24th. They had to get there to a series of performances, and they played in front of college professors. They had to play a solo or be part of an ensemble. And students here before you, they medaled at this competition, which is very, very hard to do. So we want to recognize these students for their wonderful accomplishment. We have Mr. Micah Thoris, silver medal on public policy. Mr. Noah Rosenbaum, gold medal, oboe solo. Miss Emily Dilaneda, gold medal, 6 or more brass octaves. Mr. Andres Perez, gold medal, saxophone quartet. And I'm going to say a little bit more on this last one, Mr. Enrique Garcia IV. He received 2 gold medals for being a part of a brass ensemble, and he also received another gold medal for a multiple percussion solo. Now, at this competition, the judges, there was about 20,000 students that competed in vocal and band orchestra. The judge, if a student goes in a room and just does exceptional, the judge has the opportunity to award any student in that room what is called the Outstanding Performer Award. And we don't find that out till after the contest is completely over across the state of Texas. We received word, I believe it was the last week of school, that along with his 2 gold medals, he was an outstanding performer for this competition, which he will receive a gold medallion, which every UIL state champion receives in any event. So here's our gold medal champion.
Good job.
Your big kids, congratulations, Ricky.
Thank you so much. Nice. Thank you so much.
Squeeze, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations again, and Ricky, awesome job. You shine in everything that you do, Ricky, and as well as everybody else. But that's like winning a state championship in baseball or football. You just did that in band, so great job. Now we have our choir UIL, solo and ensemble.
Superintendent, board, administrators, distinguished guests, parents. It is such an honor to stand here to recognize our choir students for their tremendous work this year in solo. It starts at the, of course, the district level. And we took 7 students, all scored gold, but only the ones with a class 1 gold go to state. And so we took 4 students to state, and 3 of them returned with gold medals. So we're very proud of that. And I would like to honor Matthew Cannon. Vocal solo.
Good job.
We had 3 golds and 1 silver. And then I would like to also honor Millie Pena for a gold. I'm very proud of these students, and we have a young program and looking forward to
Thank you.
several more years of working with these students because I'm not young.
You went over here, did we? Yeah.
Thank you for your.
Thank you so much for representing Alex ISD. Next, we have Delana Buches to give an update on our academics.
Good evening, Board President, members of the board, Dr. Trevino, community. I feel like it's a little hard to follow those recognitions we just had. They were all pretty great. I'm going to be sharing tonight some updates just related to state assessment reporting. So as I've mentioned previously, our results for state assessments are reported in phases. So the first batch that comes out is early student level results, and those are highlighted. You can see that those happened like right before school let out. Those are really limited in scope. They're intended just for making decisions related to meeting of minimum graduation requirements and summer school needs. The next batch that rolls out are preliminary results. Those are a little more detailed. You can see that we have received so far just last week preliminary for our STAR end of course and our TELPAS. Those results are still not final. To give you an idea of some of the changes that may happen over the next week or two, we're going to be submitting some rescore requests for extended constructed responses. So there's different little changes that could happen. Final results from the state roll out in July according to those dates. And then once the final results are available, then accountability rules get applied to the results. And scheduled release of preliminary accountability tables for 2025 is set for August 15th, with then the final ratings released for 2025 in December. So that's kind of the path that everything rolls out. Since we do have at least preliminaries for a couple of the assessments, we did want to go ahead and share just a little bit of what we actually have so far. So we're going to start off with the TELPAS results. So TELPAS is the required state assessment for our emergent bilingual students. It assesses progress toward achieving English language proficiency. Students are assessed in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. They have to either achieve advanced high or progress at least one level in at least 2 of those domains in order to be identified as achieving progress. The state assesses districts in the closing the gaps domain of accountability, which is domain 3, and it's based on whether or not we hit certain targets. At the top, the very top table shows what some of those targets are. So the green that goes across horizontally is the current interim target. So that's the target that the state has districts shooting for in the time period from 2022-23 school year until the 26-27 school year. So surpassing those targets for the different levels for high school, middle school, and elementary, that earns 3 out of 4 possible points in domain 3 for the English language proficiency. Then over time, they have additional interim targets, but they have a long-term target set for 2037-38. So that's over 10 years out. In order for a district to achieve the full 4 points for this area, they would have to hit or exceed that long-term target for 2037. So the table at the bottom has the preliminary tell-pass results that were given out, and it's broken down by campus, and then the percent of the students who were identified as meeting those requirements for achieving progress. The vertical green that says met interim target, we're very pleased to be able to share that every single one of the 6 campuses met or exceeded the current interim target. We also have 4 campuses that have met or exceeded the long-term 2037 target and will be getting the full 4 points toward accountability. We're really pleased to see the continuing success of the emergent bilingual students. The other area that we've gotten some preliminary results in so far is our end of course. As we look at this table, we are doing a comparison to spring 2024 STAR, but I do want to clarify there's a little bit of differences in results in terms of the spring 2024 STAR results that you see. Those were final results with accountability rules applied. So those were the ones that would, come up on the tape report after everything's all done. Whereas the spring 2025, all we have so far are the preliminary. So you're seeing that preliminary version. So there is a little difference in what's included in the scores. There's 3 numbers in each segment there, and those numbers represent the percent of students who met approaches grade level on their performance, the percent who met meets grade level on their performance, and then the percent who met master's grade level on their performance. And then compared to what we have so far for spring 2025, there's italics where you can see that there were increases in particular areas. One of the things that we were really kind of shooting for across the board was improvement at meets and masters levels. And you can see that there was definitely some of that across the board. Also, you'll notice the light orange. The light orange are end of course exams that were taken at William Adams Middle School. So we had students, 8th grade students, who were taking Algebra 1, English 1, and Biology for high school credit this year in 8th grade. And so you can see their performance as well. That was expanded this year. Algebra 1 for WAMS is the only one that has a 2024 comparison because we did not offer English 1 and Biology to WAMS last year in 8th grade. So this was an expansion of those opportunities, and the kids, as you can see, that took that opportunity really rose to the challenge on that and did really well. Of course, as we continue to get more detailed results as they roll out, we're gonna really dig in to each of these and just keep identifying, where our areas of strength, where our areas for us to work and hit the ground, running for next year. Before I go on, any questions on that one? I also wanted to reshare, I did show this last month, but I did want to reshare it as we're getting closer to the dates, the information about public and family access, so that family and all the community members know how and when you have public access to the data. The table that's on the top gives the dates when the state releases results into the family and research portal. So the tops are those preliminary results that we talked about, and then the final results. And so the preliminaries, we've got some that are going to be hitting the portals very soon for access for families and the community. So TELPAS is June 12th, STAR end of course June 10th, and STAR 3 to 8 is June 17th. For family access, the easiest, quickest way to get at it is through Skyward. Skyward is where families already are accessing attendance and grades. Where the little red square is around that tab that says Texas Assessments, you click on that, it takes you directly to your students' information. It's great information all the way down to the specific questions that they were asked on the assessments, the responses they gave, and their full STAR history. So it's great, and it will be available. Those are the state's dates that they have provided for that. On the public side, the state also releases public access on the same dates. Now, of course, public access isn't going to be at student level because, privacy information, but it is on the group level. So at that Texas Research Portal, which that website there, txresearchportal.com, after these dates, you should be able to access any grade level, any subject, any district, not just Dallas ISD, any district. You just go in there, you say what district you're looking for, you say what, subjects, what test, and you can pull up the information. There are some little notes from TEA that I copied right there underneath the table. One thing that is important to note is the last sentence there that says that state assessment results that are in the research portal, they may vary slightly from the data used for accountability calculations as specified in accountability rules. So earlier I mentioned once there's final results, then they apply accountability rules to that. So it's things like students who were present on the snapshot date in October and also at the end of the year. There's various rules that there's then slight changes to the data. So I think that's important for everyone to know so that if you do access data in the Texas Research Portal, you may see that then later in fall when we have accountability numbers, some of the numbers might be slightly different from what you see in the portal. So I just want to make sure everybody is aware. Those aren't errors, it's just looking at slightly different perspectives on the data. But that is available to anyone, any grade level, any subject, any district. Then finally, I'd also like to talk a little bit about the summer programs we have going on. We have our Coyote Jumpstart Learning Academy happening. It kicked off on June 3rd, so the kids started on June 3rd. Elementary is being hosted at Shallert and Noonan, all of our elementary students. And then we also have William Adams and the high school. All the campuses are offering STAR support where needed. And the high school is also offering a fast track academy where students can actually earn initial credit in certain classes, like for example, Spanish 1, Spanish 2. The first week was completed last week on Friday. Friday was the last day. So attendance, just to give you an idea of attendance numbers, attendance on Friday, June 6th for Alice High School was 282 students. William Adams, we had 151. And then at the elementaries, we had 128 at Noonan and 117 at Shallert. As the high school students who are doing STAR support work through and then wrap up their STAR support time, they will have the opportunity, if needed, to take their end of course retest during the state assessment window, which is next week already. So you can see the dates that they will be offered those assessments there if they are in need of a reassessment. Any questions? Thank you.
Now we invite Kim Goodman, principal of Shallert Elementary, to give us an update on Shallert.
Good evening. My hands are a little itchy. It must be from all those checks. So congratulations to all our teachers. Well deserved for all of them. Good evening, Madam President, esteemed members of the Board of Trustees, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Trevino, and distinguished guests. My name is Kimberly Galvan, and I am honored to stand before you today on behalf of Shallert Elementary to share our progress and plans outlined in today's presentation. This year, our campus has continued to grow in both numbers and strength, with an enrollment of 621 students, including 172 students in our special ed program, 12 students in our gifted and talented program, and 13 students in our emergent bilingual program, with an overall student population that is 83% economically disadvantaged. Even though our numbers are growing, we continue to remain committed to providing equitable and impactful learning experiences to all our students. As highlighted in our presentation tonight, we began with our strong start. What were the results of our systems that drove Shallert to continue to move forward? We provided strategic systems included targeted intervention, which is known as our WIN time, which stands for what we need now, or what I need. We reinforced instructional coaching with personnel that we had on staff, whether it was myself, Mr. Garza, our assistant principal, reading interventionists, counselors, team leaders, and teachers that showed extreme strength in areas where others may needed support. We also provided data-driven PLCs, which is our professional learning community. These structures ensured consistent routines and academic support across all our classrooms, all our grade levels, and all our content areas. In addition to that, we prioritize social and emotional supports, implementing behavioral plans when needed, deepen family engagement through events and proactive communication. We strengthen our foundational literacy and numeracy in grades pre-K through second, and identify different areas to prioritize. We ensured all students showed measurable growth, especially in our subgroups. We maintained strong adult culture to improve collaboration and retention, building trust within ourselves and our support systems on campus, to build teacher capacity and to help teachers build those teacher toolboxes. Another priority that we set on campus was to increase student attendance, and I can proudly tell you that our increase this year was 95.4% compared to 94% last year. And our last priority was to build leadership and capacity in our teachers, as mentioned before. Now, with setting areas to prioritize, we also celebrated progress and simple achievements from our students and staff. Our school culture has flourished even more with student-centered incentives such as our STAR celebrations, for example, Urban Air, Hurricane Alley, or even simple trips to the park. We incentivized and hoped our students would continue to meet their goals as far as reading, and provided students with incentives every 6 weeks. While family-involved activities like our mother-son dance, and one of my favorites was Picnic in Progress, where we invited families to join us on campus, where they were able to have lunch with their child, but also discuss where they were academically, their benchmark scores, setting goals, and also setting a plan on how they were going to work together to ensure that their child met those goals at the end of the year. And lastly, how can I forget the traditional lemonade wars, that it has now become a tradition that we started with Miss Grace Bettis, so thank you for that. And now it's just a wonderful learning experience. I give credit when it's due, and she's an amazing leader, so thank you, Miss Bettis. So many great activities we have on campus. Promoting students with motivational posters. I share this one with you because this one was one that went viral. It was a mom telling her child, you want your phone back, you better pass the star, but it's also sending her love. And so I had to share that with you. And then, of course, Reading Across America, and pictured is our lovely president from our school board. So now that the school year 24-25 is kind of coming to a close, what is our plan to continue to move Shallert forward, to hit the ground running? Well, we have some ideas and some things that we're already starting to plan out. This includes summer PD, where we are going to ensure that our teachers are planning instructional lessons that are rigorous, classroom management, engagement, and curriculum. We have a first 30-day plan for our teachers, where we will include pause expectations, routines, and relationship building. Our win time, which is that intervention time, what I need now, starting with our groups and interventions already set for day one. Staff training for our social emotional learning and behavior systems aligned and consistent, as well as continuing to reach out to our families with welcome letters, supply lists, calendars, and expectations sent early. And then, of course, continuing with our support for our teachers and our staff by providing walkthroughs and support beginning week 1, so we can ensure that teachers feel supported and they have all the tools they need to provide instructional support. I would like to thank you, the board, Dr. Trevino, for your support and your guidance, and for the ability and the opportunity to lead Shallert. It was an amazing year. We're going to continue to move forward. Together, we are not only nurturing achievement, but building a culture where every child is seen, supported, and celebrated. So I will leave you with this, and this was a little model that just came about with our students, and it was that Shallert Bulldogs work hard every day, all day. And so as we walked around and checked in on everyone, whether it was our students or our staff, that was something that we would tell each other. Have a great day, and we were gonna work out hard because that's what Bulldogs do. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lindberg. So I know that there may be a lot of presentations, but toward the end of the year, it doesn't mean that we stop, because we need to continue to prepare for the upcoming school year. So Ms. Vasquez is now coming to the podium to share the student dress code, as well as her update on student services.
Hi, good evening, board president, members of the board, Dr. Trevino, members of the audience. The first thing we're going to start off with real quick is the 25-26 elementary and secondary student dress code. We did have no changes to our dress code. We are going to follow our current expectations, requirements, and guidelines. They still will apply for next year. All the dress code details will be in the handbook, which we'll be bringing to the board in July. I do want to bring up something real quick that has passed. We had the House Bill 1481, which is our cell phone policy update that will go effective for the 25-26 school year. What is our HB 1481? So that is a new law that was passed to restrict our personal device using during instructional hours in all public and charter K-12 schools. Those are for our students. Some key provisions: the devices covered are cell phones, smartwatches, tablets. TASB will provide us with guidance on updating our local and state policies regarding this. And then Alice ISD will form a committee to evaluate how we will communicate policies and expectations. Some exceptions to this are students with documented medical needs or safety accommodations. Those are such as an IEP or a Section 504 plan. And why this law? So the purpose of this was to reduce distractions in class, improve that student focus in learning, address mental health concerns, and then reduce cyberbullying. I'm going to move on to the Student Services Monthly Update. This is my most excited moment because I love to provide to you all the attendance. So for the month of May, as you can see, everybody did increase. We continue to show that steady improvement. We did have DeBose Elementary that finished with that strong 1.74% increase. Everybody else had that increase as well. Our district attendance for the month of May in 23-24 was 90.15%. This year, we are at 90.83%, which was at 0.68% increase. And I always tell you guys this, every growth is growth, no matter how small it is, right? Moving on, for our yearly campus attendance. So this is where our numbers will show. Compared to last year and this year, we had all schools who significantly increased. Our attendance this year reached the new heights thanks to the collective effort of our students, staff, and families. As you will see, DeBose Elementary was at that higher increase of the 2.25%. Everybody else followed right under that, the 1.97% for high school, WAMS at 2.03%, Noonan 1.02%, Science 1.69%, and Shallert at 0.75%. For our yearly district attendance, last year we ended at 91.18%, and this year was 92.92%, ending us at that 1.74% increase. This reflects the hard work of our students, staff, and families in prioritizing that daily learning. Every day counts, and together we're making each one matter. So we move on to our yearly attendance revenue loss analysis. Last year, we ended at $2,277,968. This year, we've only student attendance $1,155,621,050, which means that the district did save on attendance $1,122,346. So this money is what supports our classrooms, programs, and student success, and congratulations to all the campuses for a great school year. Moving on, our optional flexible school day program. This I kind of want to show you, based on 6 weeks, each campus utilized the program. This is how many students were in that program, and this too was an asset to that positive attendance as well. You will see in the 4th and 5th 6 weeks at each campus, there was little increases, but we did provide that support for our students who needed that extra help. And the lastly, but the discipline DAP placements. Last year we were at 229. This year it was a decrease by to 125, giving us 104 student difference. So we did have progress in that school behavior. And do we have any questions?
Thank you very much. And yes, principals, I know that every day you get a text on attendance. So thank you for being very, very supportive. And to the parents out there that are listening and are here in the audience, your support also makes a difference. Because attendance is not just about the money, that helps, but it's about teaching kids that they need to show up. And in order for us to close instructional gaps, we need the kids at school. So I hear Ms. Manriquez there saying, amen, yeah. Thank you very much. She's one of our teachers at DuBose, so thank you. Thank you very much, Ms. Vasquez. Any questions for Mr. Kubala on safety or on our budget with our revenues and expenditures with Ms. Chong?
Dr. Trevino, we had that mock, how did it go?
And so I can share from my perspective, is Kim here? We did have a good turnout. I mean, go ahead, Kim, if you want to come up. I know Michael also helped with the active shooter mock that we had on a Saturday at Alice High School, and all our principals were there, as well as Dr. Kubala and some of her staff. Based on, what we learned from it as well is how we can, as an administrative team, better execute the reunification process, right? How are we going to reunify the kids once, we have them in an isolated place? I thought that the city, police department was very helpful in organizing this with us, right? We know that when a situation like this arises, we're not gonna know the date and time, right? And so that was a learning experience for us, because even myself trying to, okay, I'm gonna text the board, right? And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm texting, but I need to make sure, we didn't call DAEP, so I'm like telling the staff, somebody call Vanessa Snyder, let her know, right, what's happening. So it was an experience of from ourselves as well as how we would execute and what we're gonna learn from it. I don't know if you wanna share anything else.
Just that we had like 77 participants. 8 o'clock was everybody met. 9 o'clock we started the scenario. And at 9 o'clock we just did like a real one. Active shooter. We closed off the roads. Nobody in. We had police officers there. We ran through the scenario. They did a great job. A lot of head down, hands up. Escorted them out, and we met in the multiplex. And then from there, we did a debrief and see, there's things that we need to work on. So that's what we're planning on doing.
I thought it was really good to get feedback from the students. The students were very honest, saying, you know what, if this was really real, I may not go to the multiplex. I may run somewhere else, right? And so then we started trying to strategize then, how can we build that support system for them so they can trust that they need to get to point B in order for us to get them to point C. So we did evaluate that. We will, at Alice High School, we would always relocate to the multiplex and then from there bus them to Shallert.
To WAMS.
To WAMS. And so that's how, we would kind of be learning from it. Is it perfect? No, right? Because definitely not. But it definitely was a good experience for the administrators that were present. Immediately, IT, we were able to see all the cameras in here. They came quickly set up, and so they were able to see what was happening, throughout Alice High School in the cameras. So I thought that was really good. I don't know if anybody else that was there want to add anything.
I would like to add, if I may. So the district has invested in SaferWatch, which is an app on our phones or our computer desktops. And I believe if for some reason communication doesn't get to a person on our campus, it will get there through the phone. And I believe that was invaluable that Saturday because all of us got alerts, even people at home who are part of the Alice High School campus received alerts at home. So everybody was in contact that way. So thank you, school board members for pushing that. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we had people there like Miss Olga, she was, normally is there a lot, so she was pretending, she was there, she sent out an alert, and we got it from her, and we got it from Dr. Kubala, so we were getting it from multiple people.
And it was a wonderful opportunity because Dr. Kabbalah is seen as the principal of the campus, and many times it is her leading the charge of a fire drill, of an active shooter. But in this case, like Dr. Trevino said, we were locked in. And so she was not there. And it was very neat to see that the APs took the role of going in with Dr. Trevino and implementing what we've practiced all year. So that was different. And it was great to see that, they were prepared to lead the charge when Dr. Kabbalah wasn't there.
And again, thank you, because I know Ms. Trina said, Mr. Kubala worked hard in making sure that we were able to have that scenario, and the city too, to allow their manpower to come in on a Saturday morning. And so I appreciate the board also supporting it because we knew that we had to let the community know way in advance so they wouldn't panic and think that it was, a real situation, but we wanted to be prepared. So I think we need to probably have a few more in the near future so we can continue to plan effectively. Next, we have Michael Hinojosa doing a presentation. Do you have anything, Mike, on maintenance and operations?
Question, or do you need to go?
I know that we have Jim Gleinser, is Jim here?
Right here.
Okay, he's going to do a presentation on the stadium, so if he can come up to the podium. Jim, are you out there? So Jim is with,
Mr. Tim.
oh, Tim, sorry, I got Jim. Sorry, Tim.
That's all right.
Chris is not available. He had to babysit his children. So you can give us an update on the stadium project.
PBK, they have something prepared. Okay, so regarding construction, I don't know if y'all have noticed, they mobilized, there's a job trailer out on site and they began excavating for some of the building pads. So that's what's transpired the last week or so. We're still working on the, savings, exploring available savings so we can utilize that and take advantage of that towards the project. We reviewed a payment application for the month of May, so that's been certified for Weaver Jacobs. And so we continue to progress and we'll keep on monitoring progress, and we'll be here to update the progress monthly and provide observations and respond to submittals and RFIs. We do have some paint chip samples for the chairs, so we wanted to leave with Mike so we can get an approval on. So we have those available. So we continue to progress, and Tim is here if you have any further questions regarding the paper.
So the truck is going in next week?
We're striving towards that. So we have a sample of the actual plastic chair, and then there's also a sample of the metal. Since it's two different materials, it's two different oranges. So something to consider. The metal doesn't necessarily have to be orange. It could be a different color, like a gray or something, if we wanted to do that. But the orange is from the available standard colors that they have, to try to closely match the orange color.
So you just have two samples of each? Is it the same, or am I just like, I can't tell that?
There's two samples of each.
Okay, okay.
One's for the plastic, the actual back, the darker is for the plastic, the seating, and the lighter color is for the iron, the metal part. Basically for the.
Yeah, so you can see there's a different variation in the orange color. So I don't think it'll make a huge difference, but if you believe it'll make a difference, then maybe the metal can be a different color if you choose to do so, and we can provide other samples. But if you're good with the orange, then we can just do the orange bracket and then the orange plastic for the seat. So. Okay.
Thank you.
Anything further? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is Mr. Emerico here? So are you going to provide a fine arts update for the summer?
Board President, Dr. Trevino, Board Trustees, Secretary. Fine Arts, we had this past week, our Strutter team, our officers, they attended the HTE officer camp in San Antonio. They were able to learn some new strategies, some new dances. And this week, they're going into we're going to be hosting a dance camp. This week, we're going to be hosting two schools along with our Alice High School. It'll be Teloso, Midway, and Robstown. So that's coming up on June 11th to the 13th this week. It'll be at Alice High School. Our Alice High School band, we are right now preparing for our new season. Our marching show this year is entitled Transcendent Harmony, written by Evan Van Doren. Our high school band is growing. We went up to 220 students. We are expecting this coming year, and everything's set in place. We have everything ready to go. We start on July the 14th. With our service team, which is all of our leadership students. And then on the 16th of July, we have our ninth graders coming in to learn what it's about to be part of the high school band. And on the following Monday, the 21st, is when the entire band reports, and then we get to work. And then on August the 1st is when every band in Texas can begin learning their new marching show for this upcoming school year. So a lot of great things happening in fine arts. Have any questions? Anybody that can help answer?
Awesome.
I want to thank you all for everything you do for fine arts and for all of our students. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear that the numbers continue to grow in the fine arts, sir. And Coach, if you could give an update on athletics.
Good evening, Dr. Trevino, Board, Community of Alice.
Let me give an update on our summer strength and conditioning, which kicked off this morning. Had over 250 kids here this morning. They're probably going to sleep real well tonight. Incoming seventh graders, all the way up to our 12th graders, boys and girls. The UIO has given us 6 weeks of strength and conditioning over the summer, 2 hours per day. We take full advantage of that. Our boys go from 8 to 10 with strength and conditioning. Our girls go from about 8:30 to 10:30. And there's also an hour of sports specific that we can work in with that as well. So it's really 3 hours that we get with our kiddos each day. And with the sports specific, it's more provided on based off of what coaches are available that particular day. Today we did football, volleyball, tomorrow will be football, basketball, things of that nature. So we try to sprinkle around the sports specific depending on what coaches are available. Kids must have a physical on file, so it's normally not a big deal, only with our incoming seventh graders who were sixth graders last year. But they must have a physical on file in order to participate. Those are kids that are in summer school. We do give them an opportunity to lift in the afternoon. We have open weight room, open gym from 5 to 7. There is no instruction, but there is supervision there with our coaches. But we do give our kids the opportunity to work out if they're working during the day or if they were in summer school. We want them to make sure that they get their workouts in. Another thing I wanted to cover was our home games, football games next year without the stadium. I know we've talked about this before. We will be playing 3 home football games down the road in San Diego. The first one being August the 29th. We open up there against Corpus Christi Carroll. And then we play 2 district ball games. We wanted to make sure that we allowed our seniors to be able to have a homecoming and a senior night. So October the 9th in San Diego, that's going to be on a Thursday night. That will be our homecoming football game. And then senior night will be October the 24th versus Mission Vets in San Diego. So those are going to be our 3 home football games that we have next year. Everything else will be on the road. So the other 7 will be on the road. A big question that we're getting is about tickets. Tickets for next year, if you are a season ticket holder, you must redeem those tickets in order to stay a season ticket holder for the new stadium. Now, I can tell you this, they will not be at a reserve price. They will be at a general admission price, which is $6 compared to $8. We will be putting that information out before August. But again, those season ticket holders must redeem their tickets this year in order to stay on the list for next year when we open up the new stadium. Any questions? Thank you.
And that's it for the superintendent's report.
Item number 7 on the agenda is a recess. We'll now take a short recess. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion for 10 minutes.
Oh.
Or what did you want? 5, 10, 20?
Let's do lucky number 7.
7 minutes.
7-minute recess. Mr. Peña, and I saw a second for Mr. Ramon. All in favor? It's 7:50. We're now for a week recess. We're back in session, and the time is now 8:03. Our recess is concluded. We'll now move on to the consent agenda. For the minutes all the trustees are back in their seats, so we can proceed. Item number 8 on the agenda. All items under the consent agenda are acted upon one motion. Upon a board member's request, any item on the consent agenda shall be moved to the action portion of the regular agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as posted?
Make a motion. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mr. Ramon. Is there a second? A second by Mr. Zamora. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes. Dr. Trevino?
For the first action item is consideration of possible action of offer to purchase tax sale property suit number 21-07-17527-B. This is property on 804 North Abram Street. The amount bid was $12,200 and the district will receive $6,406.21 if approved.
Is there any questions? Do we have a motion? I have a motion by Mr. Ramon. Is there a second? A second by Ms. Guerra. All in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes.
9B is consideration of possible action on the agreement between the Education Service Center Region 2 and Alice ISD for the leadership and instructional support opportunities through the LASSO Grant 3 cycle. We'd like to partner with Region 2 to provide support for Alice High School to improve classroom practices and build teacher capacity to close instructional gaps. This is a grant that we do need a partner or to partner with somebody, and through the discussions with Dr. Kubala and Dr. Cantu, this would be our best partner.
Thank you, Dr. Trevino. Does any member have any questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as read.
I have a motion by Mr. Peña and a second by Ms. Guerra.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
9C is consideration of possible action of workers' compensation insurance for the 25-26 school year. We're on cycle year 4 out of 5. We'd like to continue to finish this contract and then at that point negotiate with the best possible insurance carrier. This is with claims administrative services, year 4 of 5.
I'd like to make some comments if I may. It is imperative that whoever is signing off on this contract, that they must X out option number 3, that we continue on year 4 of 5. Even though there was a $2,000 decrease from the previous year, our loss fund maximum is set at $196,857. Unfortunately, CAS does not tell us how much was spent during coverage period 9/1/24 through at least the present. So that would be nice to know if, obviously they're charging us $267,220. I'd like to know how much was actually spent on claims costs. So it is very important that we select option 3, both on that little black line and then at the bottom on certification of authority to execute, that we do the same. Because if you don't, they will wrangle you in for another contract period of either begin a new 3-year plan or begin another new 5-year plan, and that would be horrible. Those are only my comments, but I would approve as proposed.
Noted, sir, your comments are noted.
Thank you.
And that's how you all are approving it for year 4 and 5, and so.
That is correct.
We execute it.
Yeah, because if you check off the red one, guess what? You're in for another 5 years.
Is there any other questions or comments?
Second motion.
I didn't make.
I made the
You
motion.
did make the motion, so there was a motion by Mr. Peña and a second by Mr. Ramon. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
Thank you. On 9E is consideration and possible action of the 2025-2026 professional development plan. In order for the district to comply with Senate Bill 1287 regarding specific trainings for public schools, we must provide educators and other school personnel with a plethora of professional development. Our policy DMA clearly indicates that the board has to approve the trainings annually. So trainings on this list is, for example, trauma-informed care for coaches and fine arts teachers, maybe on concussions or illegal steroids, for the FNS department, special ed, SEL, the social emotional specific training on content. So there's just a plethora listed in your packet, but y'all do need to approve those annually.
I'll make a motion to approve the professional development plan for 25-26 as read.
Second.
So there's a motion by Mr. Peña and a second by Mr. Zamora. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
9D is consideration and possible action to approve the 2025-2026 cost sharing agreement between Alice ISD Education and Employment Partners, the E2E, for the continuation of post-secondary success program for Alice High School seniors. So in this particular partnership, the E2E would pay 51% of 3 individual salaries, where the district would pay 49%. So we're really partnering with them to get 3 advisors. These advisors help seniors in particular with applications, scholarships, their FAFSA, and just test preps for their college entrance, TSI, ACT, SAT. They pay for all the college visits that the students would be going to, career days, and just a lot of advising. So the district's responsibility for 3 individuals would be at a cost of $85,000. To hire these 3 people, it would be at a cost of $173,360. So they're asking for us to commit to paying 49%. I know that the high school really is very appreciative of the work that's being done by E23. Now we would be gaining another individual. Instead of 2, we would be having 3. So we ask for approval.
Are there any questions?
Yes, so we're adding. We had 2 last year, and we added 1 more.
Correct. That's a recommendation in order for us to continue to provide students with the advising, because they're very focused in on the college prep itself and getting the kids to all of those, like I said, mentioned the college tours and filling out applications, the FAFSA. When you look at the percent of districts that didn't have this extra help, they didn't meet the required state requirement to complete the FAFSA application. Ours was at what level of our senior class had FAFSA?
About 96%.
I think we were almost at 97 by the time we completed, and that doesn't include the students who are special needs, who can do the opt-out because they're not getting to complete and go through the college requirements. So we're closer to paying probably as 98%. I think the state average is closer to maybe 60%. The national average is in the 40s. So Alice does a phenomenal job with the advisors. The reason for the additional advisor is the enrollment and effective advising is necessary. So we advise in all segmentation areas from college, workforce, and military. So supporting students in all 3 segmentations appropriately.
Last year, we paid $75,000 for 2. This year, we would pay $85,000 for 3. So for an additional 10, we would get a third.
When did this program start? Just curious. Do we know? How long has it been in place?
This would be going, I believe, on the
3rd.
We're going into our 4th year within the agreement with Alice High School. And we've seen all of the percentages across the board increase incrementally over the years.
98 were Potentially, that is awesome.
Yeah.
And you said it, you had the third one for, because due to enrollment
It's
at
a-
this high school or,
Yes, and really, we are seeing advising wise, the focus has always been college and that's where we're still focused, but the workforce need is there and helping students matriculate from high school into that next level of post-secondary planning and making sure that they have that level of focus and being able to follow through with that. So our advisors actually work through the summer to make sure that students actually follow through with their plan into August, September. So the third one is actually going to be able to help with the testing requirements, the TSI standardized testing, the SAT, the ACT, all of those pieces. So really helping that holistic component of getting the student ready for that post-secondary piece.
And really the goal is even after they graduate in August, still following them to make sure that they enroll at the university. So it's not just ending right now in May with the kids that walked across the stage. It's making sure that they show up in August at the university, because that is how we actually get judged through CCMR. They have to show up at the university.
They have to be in their seats and they have not only enrolled, but in their seats in the fall on the 10th day.
So we're not just after they graduate, that's it. No, we gotta continue.
So we have to follow, we make sure they attend an orientation, we make sure they have their fall schedule. If they're getting housing, we make sure they have their housing set up. Our advisors follow them through that entire process to make sure that's happened. We're supporting them with scholarships, we're supporting them with financial aid. How do we pay for all of that? How do we do our deposits? Getting all of that set up so that we don't have any barriers in their way in order to matriculate to that point to get into their seats. If they're military, did they go to MEPS? Did they get all of that? Have they signed their paper of enlistment? Do they know where they're going? If there's an issue medically, have they gotten Plan B in place? So can we help them, assist them to make that happen?
That's impressive. I have a question. So is it helping, like this is a one-on-one with the student to help build their confidence so when they leave home and they start, they don't have those worries and stressors. They're able to start off confident.
Correct.
Okay, and how many students did we service this year?
275, I believe, 278.
Wow. Well, congratulations and thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very important to us that we help them get to that next point.
Thank you.
So how often do they come, the advisors?
Oh,
They're here every day.
They're here every day.
Yes. Every day? Oh.
Every day.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Let's figure it out now.
Figure it out. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Is there any other questions or comments regarding this agenda item? Did we have a motion?
I'll make a,
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve 9E, between Alice ISD and Education to Employment Partnership 2 for the continuation of the post-secondary success program for AHS seniors and adding the third individual.
Thank you, Mr. Peña. We have a second by Ms. Guerra. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
Thank you. On 9F, it's to review and possible action of TASB legal and local policy update 125. So we'll probably be bringing a lot of these to the table simply because there's a lot of new legislation and changes. And so the changes that have been recently established is causing 7 local policies that need to be updated.
Does anyone have any questions regarding this agenda item? Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by Mr. Ariano. Is there a second? A second by Mr. Ramon. All in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes. Oh, any opposed? The motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last item for action is 9G, consideration of possible action of optional flexible school day program application. I think Ms. Vasquez talked a little bit about that. This program is designed to support students who are at risk of not graduating or need to make sure that they get their credits and recover those, or are facing extenuating personal circumstances. Right now, the application calls for 300 students at Alice High School, 200 at Williams, and 25 at each respective elementary school. We believe this has really helped our students continue their learning, but if they have needs, that we address those.
Thank you, Dr. Trevino. Are there any questions related to this agenda item? No, is there a motion at this time?
I have a motion.
A motion by Mr.
To approve the officer.
Pagoda and a second by Mrs. Guerra. Is all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Trevino. On to item 10. Closed or executive meeting or session called in accordance with the following provisions set forth in the Texas Government Code. Geez, I'm gonna take a sip of water because I'm gonna read all day. Give me a minute. Item 10A, Texas Government Code, Section 55-1.074, Personnel Matters. 10A1, Presentation and Discussion of New Hires. 10A2, Presentation and Discussion of Retirement. 10A3, Presentation and Discussion of Resignation. 10A4, Personnel Update regarding investigations. 10B, Texas Government Code, Section 551.072, Real Estate. 10B1, Deliberation regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property pursuant to Section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code. 10C, Texas Government Code 551.071, Consultation with Attorney. 10C1, Consultation with Attorney regarding legal issues related to revisions to Board Policy BED Local. 10D, Texas Government Code Section 551.071, Legal Matters, Board Attorney Advice, and 551.074, Personnel. 10D1, pursuant to the Texas Government Code Section 551.071 and 551.074, consultation with attorney and discussion regarding recommended renewal of non-Chapter 21 contracts and administrator contracts for the 2025-2026 school year. 10D2, pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 and 551.074, consultation with attorney and discussion regarding the superintendent's annual evaluation and contract. 10D3, pursuant to the Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 and 551.074, consultation with attorney and discussion regarding board operating procedures. 10D4, pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 and 551.074, consultation with attorney and discussion regarding board member resignation and process for filling trustee vacancy. 10D5, pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 and 551.074, consultation with attorney and discussion regarding complaint filed against board member. 10D6, pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 and 551.074, consultation with attorney and discussion regarding roles and responsibilities of board members. 10D7, pursuant to the Texas Government Code Section 551.071 and 551.074, consultation with attorney and discussion regarding possible settlement of employee legal matter. 10D8, pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 and 551.074, consultation with attorney and discussion regarding possible reorganization of the Board of Trustees and officer positions. The time is now 8:22. And I now need a sip of water. That was a long one. I was like, wow, I did all that without coffee. I think that was by far the most consider and take action as necessary on the items discussed and closed in executive session. Item 12 on the agenda, announcement and action items. 12A, consideration and possible action regarding new hires.
I move that we approve the following new hires. Eugene Everett as assistant principal, subject to assignment and reassignment as discussed in closed session.
Is there a motion?
That was the motion.
Oh, is there a second? A second by Mr. Ramon. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It passes. 12B, consideration and possible action regarding retirements.
No action.
12C, consideration and possible action regarding resignations.
Information.
12D, consideration and possible action regarding ongoing investigations.
Information.
12E, consideration and take possible action adopting a revised written resolution authorizing the purchase of real property located at 1300 East Main Street, Alice, Texas, Jim Wells County, Texas, and authorizing the superintendent to negotiate the final purchase, execute the real estate contract in a form approved by legal counsel, and close the sale.
I move that we adopt the revised written resolution authorizing the purchase of real property located at 1300 East Main Street, Alice, Texas, Jim Wells County, and authorizing the superintendent to negotiate the final purchase, execute the real estate contract in a form approved by legal counsel, and close the sale as discussed in closed session.
There is a motion by Mr. Ariano. Is there a second? A second by Mr. Zamora. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? It passes. 12F, consideration and possible action regarding revisions of the board policy BED local.
I move that we approve the revisions to board policy BED local.
There's a motion by Mr. Ariano. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A second by Mr. Peña. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. 12G, consideration and possible action to approve the renewal of non-chapter 21 contracts and administrator contracts for the 25-26 school year.
I move that we approve the renewal of non-chapter 21 contracts and administrator contracts for the 25-26 school year as discussed in closed session.
Thank you. There's a motion by Mr. Ariano. Is there a second? A second by Mr. Zamora. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. 12H, consideration and possible action regarding the superintendent's annual evaluation and contract.
I move that we accept the superintendent's evaluation and award the superintendent a one-year contract extension and a 3% raise as discussed in closed session.
Thank you. There's a motion by Mr. Ariano. Is there a second? A second by Mr. Ramon. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. 12I, consideration and possible action regarding board operating procedures.
I move that we amend board operating procedures as discussed in closed session.
I have a motion by Mr. Ariano. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A second by Mr. Peña. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. 12J, consideration of possible action regarding resignation of board member and process for filling trustee vacancy.
I move that we accept the resignation of Albert Molina and open the trustee position for letter of interest as discussed in closed session.
There's a motion by Mr. Ariano. Is there a second?
I have a second.
A second by Ms. Guerra. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. 12K, discussion of possible action regarding complaint filed against board member.
Information.
Information only. 12L, consideration of possible action regarding roles, responsibilities, and board member.
Discussion.
That was discussion only. 12M, consideration of possible action regarding possible settlement of employee legal matters.
Information.
Information only. And 12N, consideration of possible action regarding possible reorganization of the Board of Trustee officer positions.
Information.
Information only, no action. All right, on to item number 13, adjourn. Time is now 12:27. Thank you.
Good morning.